Hi, my name is Alina Ilioi Mureșan, and today I represent ACT and Politon Publishing House. It is a pleasure and an honor to interview today Misty Black. She's an international children's book author, a wife, a mother, a daughter, and a niece, of course. I think she's for the first time interviewed here in Romania, and I want you to say hi to Misty Black. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very great. Thank you. You're for the first time interviewed here in Romania, right? Or?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a premiere. Yay. So my first question for you is when you first realized that you want to be a children's book author?
So I was an adult, actually, when I realized I wanted to. I always loved children's books, but I never considered being an author. When I had children, I started to write stories. I wrote stories for my kids, and then I would use the illustrations. Instead of illustrations, I would use pictures of my children, and then I would compile books and then just get them printed at a local print shop and just make little books for my kids. And that's kind of how I did my scrapbooking. So after a while, I thought, oh, some of these are kind of good. I want to try and get them published. So I was, in my 40s actually when I decided to be a children's book author. So it's been a super fun ride and something that's just come later in life. And I think kind of fulfilled a need that I had because, for so long I was a mother and taking care of young kids. And then as my kids grew up, it was just something that I did for myself and a passion that I pursued for myself.
That's very cool. My question is, what do you feel when you know that this is your book, right? You wrote this book, it's translated in Romania, and then I have it in my hands in Romania. What's your feeling?
Well, I kind of have chills right now because it's actually a really cool thing to say, I'm published, internationally, and that they liked my work enough to spend the time and effort and money to translate it so that more people could enjoy it. It's really a humbling experience, and I'm very grateful.
The author Misty Black is different from the mother Misty Black?
Yes, very much. A lot of my books are about social emotional learning. I do a lot of parenting tips. I do, I give parenting advice, and I kind of teach what I've learned along the way about being a mother. So I think people would think, oh, she's a great mother. She knows exactly what she's doing. And that just isn't the case. I do my best as a mother, but I make mistakes just like everybody else. And it's a learning journey for me. And, I actually heard a funny quote just yesterday that said, the irony about being a parent is that you don't become really good at it until your children are grown. And I think that's so true. But then enter grandparents, right? So they've been through the parenting and then they get to be grandparents and be really good at it.
Indeed. I think I heard today that grandparents have a lot of time to offer love because yes, we are parents, we are really busy, we have to work, we have to do a lot of things, but grandparents are there to offer love.
That's so true. I think the more people that we can invite into our circle to love our children, the better. And grandparents are just the #1 fans of our children, right? And they have the time that our kids need and crave, and the unconditional love that our children need. Parents are, #1 to offer that, but grandparents they just have this special relationship with children. My mom used to say that she became a parent so that she could be a grandma. She was so excited to be a grandma, and she was an amazing grandma. I don't know if you know, but she passed away in 2014. And so my youngest was only 1 at the time, so she didn't get to know her very well. But through pictures and stories and journals, we can pass her legacy on so that, my youngest still talks about her, even though she doesn't remember her. She knows who she is, and and knows what she was about. So
that inspired you to write this book I have in my hands?
yes, I wrote it for my mom well after she passed away. I published the English version in 2020, and that was during COVID, where grandparents weren't able to see their grandkids unless they lived with them, right? And so at the end of the book, and I don't mean to give anything away, but it talks about ways to communicate with your grandkids when you can't see them, and you can write letters and you can do Zoom calls. And but I just used all the memories that I had of my mom as her being a grandparent and as my grandparents, and put them into this book that just means a lot to me. So pretty much every page is from an experience that I had either with my grandparents or that my mom had with her grandkids.
Actually, I had prepared for you a question about this topic. I didn't know you're gonna talk about it. And I wanted to tell you that recently my father passed away too. And my 5-year-old boy loved him very, very much. And I wanted to ask you, how can I keep his memory alive in his life?
First off, if there were any journals that he had, if you can preserve them, any pictures you have of them together, or just of significant events in his life. And I'm sorry for your loss, by the way. That's very, very difficult. But I would say that you could write your own journals of memories to pass on to your children. And my mom died of cancer, and so we knew she was going to pass. She was sick for a couple of years. And so I did some recordings of her and interviewed her so that she could give messages to her grandkids. Obviously, that's not an option for you unless you did that. But journals are just huge. They invite us to be part of something that's so much bigger than we are. When kids realize that they are part of something that is so grand, it is not only your siblings and your parents, but is your parents' parents, and it goes all the way to the beginning of, where we all came from. And every one of them had hardships and successes, and, they learned from life and life experiences. And when kids realize that, they get a sense of belonging, of being involved in something that's so important, So I think it's really important to pass that legacy on. My family was really, really good at journaling, and I'm very blessed I have a book that's, probably a few hundred pages, that's journals that somebody took and typed up from like 6 generations. And it goes back to the mid 1800s. So, I get to read about my ancestors from, pretty far back, and it's just very special. So whatever you can do to capture those memories of your dad and pass them on to your kids is going to be beneficial to them.
I think it's really important to talk about this topic because, we never just sit and think, someday my father will pass away or my mother will be gone, and we are not prepared to record them, to have a journal, and sometimes life takes us by surprise, and then it's like, okay, I want to keep his memory alive, but how can I do that? Mm-hmm. So the fact that we are talking today about this and people are listening, I think it's really important, because I don't have the chance to do that anymore. You can't do that anymore, but someone there who has really have his father or his mother alive can do that.
Right. And it might be an awkward conversation to be like, one day you're going to be gone, let's capture some memories. But you want to do it before it's too late, obviously. My mom's mom is actually still alive, but she's not as mentally able to have these conversations anymore. So, that's, we don't like to think about death. We don't like to realize that is going to happen someday. So maybe just have a fun family night where you're like, let's all write, some journals. Let's in the back of this book, I have a list of questions, and there's millions more online, where you can just go and answer the questions and write them down and just make it an activity, you know, and just to record some thoughts and feelings and memories.
Yeah, it's like a legacy you can pass on to your children, and after that to your nephews, and so on. It's yeah, a really important and a really great advice. Why do you think our grandparents so important? We are talking about grandparents, but why are they so important in our life, in our children's life?
I think because of the time that they have, they can devote, and the unconditional love that they automatically have. I mean, when you have a child, for those that are parents, I mean, that love is automatic and instant. And I have never been a grandparent, but I'm very much looking forward to it. I mean, when my kids are ready, not right now, but
Oh,
I plan on being like an amazing grandma. I want to be, because the more people that love your children, the better. The more people that are in their life, the better. When I had kids and I had family gathered around, I didn't like, I wanted to share my baby. I was like, yeah, hold her, like, isn't she amazing? And, you know, I wanted there to be that love for her, for all of my kids, that they need, because me as a parent, I fall short. I can't always give my children everything they need. So having grandparents around is the best. And now my dad's remarried to a wonderful woman. I have an aunt that I'm super close to that has filled the need of grandparent for my, you know, my mom passing. So anybody that you can find that can give your kids that love is important.
mhm. Why do you think that it is important, this bond between grandparents and grandchildren?
I think grandparents have a lot of advice and wisdom, and they've lived a long time. They have a lot of life experience, right? And I think kids just kind of tune their parents out. I think to a point they're like, I'm whatever, you know, we tell them so much stuff that they're just not going to listen to us after a while, right? But I think grandparents have a way of relaying those messages and those life experiences in a way that children will listen. And I think that's important.
Indeed. I told you earlier about the saying I heard today that grandmas are for offering love. Do you think that grandmas and grandparents and grandpas should offer unconditional love, or
100%. I think grandparents and parents should offer unconditional love. I often tell and as I've learned, you know, I'm better at this, but I tell my kids, I love you no matter what. I don't care what you do. I don't care what mistakes you make. You are loved in this home and in my life. I love you. And I think it's important for kids to know that. If they don't know that, maybe they never will feel like they're ever good enough, you know? My kids have tested me too. They're like, well, what if I did this? Well, what if I did this? And I'm like, I will love you. I might not be happy with you. And in the moment, I might be very angry, but there's nothing you can do that would make me not love you. And I think that's so important for kids to know and to understand from parents and grandparents.
so I think we should educate ourselves by believing this, because I don't know, here in Romania, we had a saying like 20 years ago that you should kiss your kids just in sleep, so they will not like take advantage of your love, you know? And yeah, it's true. Nowadays, some grandparents still believe in this affirmation.
Mm-hmm. I think we've come a long way. I think knowing, you know, the psychological damage versus, you know, how far feeding these kids love can take them. They're more successful. They have a higher IQ. You know, the studies that have done, we've come a long way. We didn't know, you know, and that's okay. We do the best we can when we know, but now we know better. We know that children need unconditional love, right? So I think that's probably kind of true around the world, not just Romania, that, you know, you can spoil your kids with too much love. I do not believe that's true. And I think we've, you know, as a society have come to realize that.
Do you think that by reading Grandmas Are for Love, or in Romania, Bunicile sunt pentru iubire, yeah, we're gonna like start the process to love our kids, our nephews? If I don't know, for who do you recommend for first to read the book? When I first read it to my son, it was like, my mom should read it, I should read it, my dad should read it, not just my son.
Yeah, I mean, that's my hope. I would certainly love for a book that I wrote, a little book that I wrote, to make a difference and to bring more love into families. Obviously, that would be a dream, right? But I do think it is for everyone. I mean, I wrote Grandmas Are for Love, but I was actually closer to my grandpa. We were, you know, best buds, and it was really hard for me when he passed away. So I think, you know, it just kind of brings anybody closer that you, I'm not a grandma yet, but my brother had children later, and they're very young, and oh my sister-in-law's due for her baby in a couple weeks, and I'm so excited. You know, family is just so important, and it doesn't matter who you are, how you're related. Showing that love to these little kids is just so important. I even have friends that I'm close enough to that I call family, but I think the community that you're in, where you can support each other and love each other, is just so important.
Yeah, so we can find your book here in Romania at Act and Politon, or Act și Politon. We can have it, we can find it in America, United States, right? And there are any other countries where we can find the book?
Find the Romanian version or the English version?
The English version, I think, because the Romanian version, I think, and I am sure that it's only in Romania, but Act and Politon. Yeah.
Yeah, the English version is available anywhere, really. The ebook version is available anywhere for sure. The printed version is available anywhere where Amazon delivers. So if Amazon delivers to you, you can get the book, yeah.
And the drawings were made by?
Marina Baytrak. She has illustrated 3 books for me. She is the sweetest. She's from Ukraine. So she's, you know, in the middle of the war, and things are tough for her right now. She wasn't able to make it today. I wanted her to pop in and say hi, but she's just an amazing person who I think was inspired by her drawings. So yeah.
We say hi to her, and I'm sure she's gonna watch it later. So yeah, congrats to you too.
Yeah, so we'll say hi. Hi, Marina.
Hi, Marina. Now I want to say something in Romania to all our viewers. So, dragii mei, o să vă spun în română că, iată, Act și Politon vor oferi 3 cărți, Bunicile sunt pentru iubire, carte pe care o răsfoiesc eu deja și, după cum am spus, am și citit-o celui mic. Aceste cărți vor fi oferite unor 3 norocoși, să le zic așa, persoane care ne urmăresc. Tot ce trebuie să faceți este să scrieți în chat numele, prenumele și orașul pentru a participa. Iată, deja și colegii mei de la editura Act și Politon au scris deja start concurs. Așadar, s-a scris deja start concurs. Acolo, în scris, puteți să notați numele, prenumele și orașul în care vă aflați și de unde participați. Concursul va dura 5 minute, iar după aceste 5 minute, colegii mei vor scrie pe chat stop concurs. Mai apoi, la finalul interviului, în vreo aproximativ 20 de minute, depinde și în funcție de răspunsuri, vom lua și vom extrage prin intermediul lui random.org, care extragere se va da prin share screen la finalul interviului, după cum am spus. Vă doresc mult succes și sper din toată inima să și câștigați una dintre cărți și, de asemenea, dacă o să aveți întrebări sau chiar dacă aveți deja de acum întrebări pentru Misty Black, puteți să le lăsați tot acolo în chat, să le scrieți. O să intru și eu imediat să mă uit să văd ce se mai întâmplă în chat. Ce întrebări aveți pentru ea, le voi traduce și îi voi pune aceste întrebări. Și mai mult decât atât, în perioada 18-25 august, la Act și Politon, avem 30% reducere la carte. Deci dacă nu câștigați cartea, totuși ați câștigat 30% discount dacă o comandați în perioada 18-25 august. Mai grăbiți-vă că mai aveți vreo 4 minute până când puteți participa. Dacă mai știți prieteni care ar fi bucuroși să câștige această carte și nu sunt online aici cu noi, puteți să le trimiteți repede linkul de Zoom, să intre și să participe la concurs. So, Mr. Black, I just said something in Romanian. I announced about the contest. 3 lucky winners we're gonna have one of your book. And also, if I said Misty Black, let me know if Misty Black is your real name or no.
Yes, Misty Black is my real name. I get asked that a lot.
So it's not like a scene name or like a invented name. It's your real name.
My real name, yep, 100%.
It's great. I just wanted that our viewers to know that too, because I already told you have a great name. So we established that grandparents are for love, for offering love, for giving unconditional love. So I want to ask you if you think that nowadays the relationship with grandparents are stronger than in the past.
That's a hard question. I'm not sure. I know that my mom was very, very close to her grandma. She talks very highly of her grandma, and I knew her too. She was alive. She died when I was like 16, my great grandma. Mm-hmm. And she tells me stories of her kidnapping her and taking her to Disneyland, or taking camping, or just letting her. She lived like 5 houses down the street, so she would always go and visit. So I don't know. As far as my experience in my family goes, I think they've been close through the generations. So I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
I think it's different. It's like in the past, we were we used to show our love in a different way. Mm-hmm. Not saying it, but showing it, maybe by offering you an apple or taking you to Disneyland or something like that. Mm-hmm. Now in the present, I think we learn to express our feelings. So our grandparents learn to do that too. Yeah,
I think kids have not always been able to share their feelings. I think we're getting better at letting them do that and letting them feel those feelings and express those feelings. And I think that's, I think we've learned that way. As far as loving them more, I'm not sure, but I think we definitely say it more. My mom actually had a hard time telling us she loved us. And I don't think it's because she didn't love us. She loved us a lot. It just wasn't something that was said very often to her. So it was just a little more awkward. But my dad said it and says it all the time still. And I say it to my kids all the time. So I don't know if we say it better. I don't know if you've had that experience too, but I think it's funny to look back and
I just I was thinking that it's like you read my mind, because actually my father and I think my mother never told me they loved me, but they did. They love me very much. So I promised myself that I will tell to my kids all the time that I love him. I love him. So I actually wanted to ask you if it is important to say I love you, not just express it.
I think it's important, but I also think just as you knew that your parents loved you, even though they didn't say it, I knew my parents loved me, even though they didn't say it. So more than the words, I think it's the actions and the way we treat each other is important too. So I do say it a lot to my kids, and it might get to the point where it just rolls off the tongue. Love you, love you, love you, you know. But the way we treat each other is far more important than what we say.
Indeed. But how does family impact child development?
How does what?
How does a family impact child development?
You know, I am not a psychologist or anything, but I have read a lot about it. And it's my understanding that children that have a stable family are more emotionally strong. They have higher IQs. They have higher success rates. There was a lot of things that I read about a study, but having a stable family and whatever that family looks like, you know, everybody's family looks different. But as long as they have some, at least, you know, somebody or a group of people that are going to support them through the challenges of life and celebrate them through the victories of life, I think they have a better chance of being successful and happy. And so, yeah, I don't necessarily think that your family has to have, you know, a ton of kids or, you know, be the traditional family that we talk about. But, you know, a single mom can be very supportive of her kids and raise wonderful kids. You know, I've seen it happen. It's a lot harder. I think it's a lot harder. And kudos to those moms that are doing that. And dads that are doing that. But yeah. I lost I can't hear you.
Yeah, I have no idea why. I was just, I was listening to you, and in the meantime, I was reading all the comments from the chat history. I don't know if you saw them. And I just
yeah. I can't understand them, but I can see them.
I wanted to translate them to you.
Okay.
And it goes by that. Okay. So Carly Valentine says, excited to join this interview. I am a fellow author and a huge fan of Misty's books. They are wonderful.
Hey, Carly.
Then Gabriela said, really, really cool. My kids loves her books.
Oh, that's nice.
Then Otilia says, it is a great pleasure to hear Misty after I read all her books to my little ones.
That's so nice.
So Roman Daniela says, hi, I'm Dana from Craiova. Hi.
Hi.
And also Roman Daniela says, I recently became a grandmother, and I attend at different seminars so I can offer to my nephew all he needs. I wish to not make again the same mistakes I did with my daughter. So I just want to not make account or do what everyone says that I should do. She works in the education fields, and she says that she reads daily to her kids stories. She loves to read books to her kids from the classroom. Yeah. So.
Okay, so Roman, congratulations on being a grandmother. That's amazing. And I think, you know, your desire to do a better job is, you know, what we all crave. And that's the best we can ask of ourselves, to just be better today than we were yesterday. And then Otilia, I'm sorry, can you tell me what she's, reading at a very young age is the best, you know, one of the best things you can do for your kids. I wasn't as good with my older, and then as you know, as I had more kids and realized that I'm much better. And my daughter and I just love to read together. So I think that helps them learn to love literature at an early age. That's what my mom did for me. So that's a great thing to be doing.
So we have more comments. Gabriela says that it will be really interesting if in the future there can be more dates and seminars like this. So cool. And also, Otilia Anna says that I'm a fan of children's stories, and also I'm waiting to become a grandma.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the other Otilia, we have two Otilias here.
Oh.
The other Otilias ask if in the future we're gonna show more books from yours. We're gonna be in Romania. So, do you
I
plan
hope
to
so. I would
publish?
love that.
Mhm.
Tell my publisher that you want more books for me.
So yeah, our Romanian friends should write in the comments that you want more books from Misty Black.
Yep.
But also, do you now in the present plan to write another book? If yes,
Yeah,
what will be about it? Yeah.
I have a book coming out next month. It's called Klutz the Cat Learns to Do Hard Things. It's a growth mindset book to help children realize that mistakes are a part of life, that we can learn from them, that the things that are worth doing in life take effort and hard work, and that it pays off in the end. So, having a growth mindset is something that's very important for our children, so that they know they can learn and develop. They might not be able to know something now. They don't know it yet, but they can learn it.
Sounds really interesting. We hope that we will have the book here in Romania too. Otilia Anna says that I wanted to ask the same thing. When we're gonna have another books from her?
Hopefully soon. I would love it.
So cool. So Gabriela asked if you have more books which are dedicated to other fields. I think like to a father or to, I don't know.
Yeah. So When You Feel Better is also dedicated to my mom. It's something I wrote when she had already passed, but it was about my feelings of how I felt when she was sick. I just never lost hope that she would get better. And so I just wrote this as a hopeful message of everything we could do together when you feel better. So that one's for her. And then I have You Taught Me Love, which is dedicated to my daughter. It's a game that we would play together. I love you more than this. I love you more than this, and it was just kind of a contest that we would have to see who could love each other the most. So that one was written for her. And those are all in the same series with the same illustrator. And then I have a series about social and emotional learning. So that's the Pumpkin Friends series. So I talk about gratitude. I talk about saying you're sorry, talk about anxiety, managing those worries that our kids get. I talk about self-worth and knowing your value. You don't have to be the same as everybody else to have worth. And then, let's see, I'm missing one. I talk about controlling your temper with Quilliam learns to control his temper. And then this one with growth mindset. Yeah. And then I have a fun series called the Bubblehead Adventures, which is a bath time fun adventure series that promotes hygiene, a bedtime routine. Some school counselors are using it to promote attendance, because if kids aren't getting to bed on time, they're not sleeping well, they're not coming to school. So having a bedtime routine can really help them get the sleep that they need.
So most of them are educational books.
Yeah, I think most of my books have a purpose. I do have a unicorn series that's just for fun. But most of my books, yeah, I think they have a purpose and a message. I try to not cram it down your throat or have it be a lecture, but incorporate it into the story.
So I have some news for you. Our publisher, Editura Act and Politon, says they written in Romania, but I'm gonna translate it to you.
Okay.
So good evening. Of course, we plan to publish another books written by Misty Black.
Yay!
Yay! And Otilia Anna says, I'm so happy. Can't wait.
Oh, wonderful.
So also I want to tell our friends in Romania that the contest is stopped in the chat. So, dragii mei, concursul, după cum ați văzut mai sus, nici nu am mai apucat să vă citesc, a fost oprit. Editura Act și Politon a scris stop concurs. După ce încheiem seria de întrebări și mai povestim puțin cu Misty Black, de asemenea, o să se facă și extragerea, după cum am spus, prin intermediul random.org. Se va da share screen la finalul concursului. Așadar, dacă doriți să aflați dacă ați câștigat, rămâneți alături de noi ca să puteți să aflați acest lucru. Și am mai văzut că ați mai pus o întrebare aici pentru Misty Black. So, we have another question. I think Otilia don't know that, but she asked if you have kids.
Yes, I have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy.
2 girls and a boy. So, you're a mother.
Yes.
You said that at the beginning of this interview, but of course, I think Otilia joined us later, so it's good to know that.
Yeah.
How old is your youngest?
She's 8. Yeah,
she's
she's 8. She's starting to move on to chapter books, which I haven't written a chapter book yet, and so I'm a little sad that she is kind of growing out of the picture books. She'll still read mine though.
So, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a writer, you're a daughter, you're a niece. You have a lot of roles. Which is your favorite one?
Oh, between a wife and a mother, families first. You know, I grew up always wanting a family of my own, so definitely that.
That's so cute. I also want to ask you if you have a message for us, for your Romanian friends.
Just love your little ones, whether it be your own kids, whether it be your grandkids or your nieces or nephews. Just love them for their imperfections, their mistakes that they make, the wonderful things they do, the funny things they say. Children are just enrich our lives in so many ways. And, you know, they just want love. They crave to be accepted. They crave to have a purpose and to feel like they belong. So that's my message.
So your first interview here in Romania was by Zoom, but your second one, I hope it will be live here in Romania.
Well, that would be awesome.
Indeed. We are waiting for you with more books, and as you see, you are very loved here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, Alina. You've been a joy to talk to.
Me too. Thank you so much. It's I'm gonna keep stalking you because online, I said, because it's like it's really important to have friends and to have like people around us who has the same values and who thinks and believes that love is really, really important.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So I have we have 2 messages on the chat. It's like Otilia Ena says, long live to your 3 kids, Misty Black.
Thank you.
Also, Roma Daniela says, it was a pleasure, and we hope that we will do it again. And also, Otilena says, thank you so much, Misty Black.
Nice.
I have a message here from my colleagues from Act and Politon. I'm going to say it in Romania. Câștigătorii care o să vadă că, iată, au fost extrași, să scrie și la adresa de e-mail office cu 2 de f, office, @actshpoliton.ro sau pe Instagram, pe pagina lor de Instagram Act și Politon. De asemenea, dacă o să vedeți și voi scris pe chat acest lucru, dacă ați câștigat, trebuie să luați legătura cu colegii mei de la Act și Politon ca să intrați în posesia cărții. Sper din toată inima să fiți câștigătorii și dacă nu v-am spus, oricum sunteți câștigători, deoarece puteți beneficia de 30% reducere la carte în perioada 18-25 August, carte pe care, bineînțeles, că o găsiți pe site la Act și Politon. După cum am zis, e foarte frumoasă, am citit-o și eu fiului meu și chiar mi-a plăcut mult. So, Misty, I don't want to end this interview because I just want you to read to you something in Romania from the book. Do you want to?
Oh, no. Yeah, I can.
Yeah? So,
okay, what page?
What page? Let's see. Let's go to page. Let's go to. Here. I don't know. It's we don't have pages over here, but it's. Let me count it. 1, 2, 3. It's this one.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to butcher it, just so you know. Oh, goodness. Okay. Bunăsile sunt pentru coese paciente te rog mai pun-mi una deoparte.
Yay! Very good. Actually, it's your first time reading in Romania, right?
Oh, first time.
It's very good. It sounds like this. Bunicele sunt pentru acoace plăcinte. Te rog, mai punem una deoparte. It was really close.
Oh, good.
Actually, if you see in our chat, Otilia N says that it's great. And Manuela Gafu, hi, it's very nice to see you, Misty. It was really great to hear you talking in Romania, reading. Next time, more.
Okay, sure.
More. So, yeah, we have like 3 minutes left from this interview. If you want to tell us something, I don't know, you have a promotion or you have another message for us or something like this, here it is, your time.
Okay, well, let me think. I do have to say that my Christmas book, Bubblehead Ho Ho Ho, in English is super marked down. I don't know why, but Amazon marked it down to very, very cheap. So if you want to go grab that, that would be fun for you. And then also just want to say that I'm an author coach, and I have courses on teaching you how to become an author. They're, of course, in English, but if anybody is interested in learning more about those, you can go to my website. It's www.mistyblackauthor.com. And in the top, it will say courses. You can learn more, or you can just go to my website and learn more about any of my books or what I offer. So I'm just going to write this in the chat. Just my website. So you can go there and learn more about what I do if you're interested. So
thank you. Otiliana says, I'm so happy that I got to know you. You are special.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And I think that my colleagues from Act și Politon are ready to make the to choose the winners. And I think at the end of this interview, we're gonna have a share screen to random.org to choose those 3 winners who
Wonderful.
can. Yeah. So my colleagues wrote also in the chat the message I said to you. După cum vedeți, dragilor, v-au scris și colegii mei de la editura Act și Politon ce trebuie să faceți după ce ați câștigat. Mr. Black, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. You are an amazing person. You are so nice. And I really hope that you will come in Romania.
I would love to. And I appreciate this and the interview. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much. So let's see who is the winner today. Oh, wait.
Oh,
wait.
my dad's on here.
So Kevin Porter says, I am Misty's dad. I love you, Misty. So proud of you. Fab dad. Oh my God, that is so cute. Hi, Mrs. Dad.
Yeah, he always signs it your favorite dad. So that's what fave dad means.
That's so cute.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, you are in Romania, Dad. Really nice. So it's really great to see that your dad supports you. It's amazing.
Oh, he's wonderful. Oh, my sister's on here too.
Amy Dickey, wahoo!
Yep, that's my sister. Hey, Amy.
So nice. So, hi, Amy. Hi, Mrs. Dad. You are a great family. Here in Romania, Misty is really loved. And we have her books. They are translated in Romania, so you should be proud. Yeah. This is so emotional. It's like
I know, I'm a little emotional
yeah.
too. I really have the best family, so.
You do. You're blessed.
I am.
Oh, Amy Dickey, Misty is a wonderful sister. So cute. She is. So, guys, if you are ready, we should choose the winners to see who will gonna win. It's a family reunion. Yes.
That's my husband.
Really?
I'm sorry, I just.
That's really cool. So on this note, we have all we are a big one happy big family. We're gonna choose the winners through random.org to see who's gonna win. So if you have some drums, dun, 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 let's see who's gonna win your books. Yeah. In Romania, it's like bunicile sunt pentru iubire. Let's see who. Okay, so we had the winners, I think. Otilia Pascovic from Bucharest, Florinel Frântu from Sibiu, and Gabriela Martin from Timișoara. Congratulations! Dragilor, ați câștigat, felicitări! Numele voastre sunt scrise și acolo în chat. Contactați editura Act și Politon fie pe e-mail, fie pe Instagram. So also Kevin Porter says Mrs. real name was Shannon Porter for one day until her grandma Bizarre came to see her on a stormy day and said her name needs to be Misty. Yes. Oh my God. So nice.
So you ask if Misty is my real name? Yes, since I was 1 day old. When I was 0 days old, it was Shannon for 1 day.
So your husband told us the truth.
That was my dad, but yeah, he did.
Oh, your dad. Yeah. Really nice. It was a pleasure to meet all your family. Also, Otilia Anna asked from where she can buy the book, if online it is here in Romania. So, Otilia, da, găsești cartea, uite, după cum vezi și tu, la Act și Politon, o găsești chiar peste tot acolo, fie la ei pe site, chiar și pe Instagram, dacă intri pe Facebook, la ei pe site acolo, o găsești și o poți cumpăra. Îmi pare rău că nu ai câștigat, dar hei, nu uita de codul de 30% reducere în perioada 18-25 august. Cei care nu ați câștigat, iată, puteți să cumpărați cartea cu 30% reducere. So I just said where in Romania we can find your book. It was a pleasure. I think that everyone wants to stay here a little longer, as I see. Our editor Act and Politon just posted the link from where they can buy the book translated in Romania. It's great. We have it there. So the interview will gonna remain. It's gonna be subtitled, and then Act and Politon will post it. So we can review it, and we can. Oh, Kevin Porter says proud to be the father of the world-renowned author, the real Misty Black. Yes, sir. You should be proud. She's a great, great woman, and it is a pleasure that we can meet all Misty's Black family. Wait, we just have some news. The Act and Politon says that I should make an announcement. How nice. I'm gonna say it in Romanian and then I'm gonna translate it. Dragi participanți, mai avem încă o noutate și o surpriză foarte frumoasă de la cei de la GAFLpb. Aceștia spun că vor oferi tuturor participanților cadou câte o carte, așa că Otilia și toți cei care nu ați câștigat, să știți că veți primi cadou o carte de la GAFLpb. Foarte frumos gest. So the publisher, GAFLpb, just said that they are gonna offer to all the attendees a book, a free book. So that's very nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is so cool. Wow. It is so cool. Thank you so much. And your family is here. Dear mom, husband, and everyone from Misty Black family, you are invited to come in Romania. We are really great people, and we also love Misty Black's book. So come here.
We'll make a family trip, right?
Like a family trip, yeah. It's really nice here, so it's gonna be like a family trip, but also you're gonna be invited here at TV stations and of course at Editura GAFLpb.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think we're done with the surprises today. Everyone is so happy because they say, "Wow, so happy!" So thank you so much. This is a surprise. Thank you a lot. Dragilor, cine vrea să revendice premiul, să intre în posesia cărților, contactați, după cum ați văzut și acolo, pe e-mailul office@GAFLpb.ro sau pe Instagram, Facebook pentru revendicarea premiilor. Acolo puteți să luați premiile voastre. Poate că n-ar fi rău să faceți și un print screen că ați luat parte la acest Zoom, ca să aveți și o dovadă, zic eu. Dar cu siguranță au rămas și numele voastre acolo. Bun, acestea fiind spuse, friends, Alina, you have Snap. Actually, I don't have Snapchat or what?
Yeah,
What's Snap? Yes, no, I don't have Snapchat. I only have Instagram and Facebook. Yes, I do have. So my name is Alina Iloi Mureșan. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and it was a really, really nice time I had with you, Misty Black. You're an amazing woman. We can follow you on Instagram and Facebook by
@Misty Black Author for both. I'll just put it here. Yep.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Can I visit you in Romania? No, friends. You can visit Romania, but not me.
But you invited, she says.
Okay, so it was really fun. It was a pleasure meeting you, and also need a place to sleep. I think we have a lot of hotels here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It was a pleasure to meet you, Misty Black. Thank you so much. Grandmas are for love, or bunicile sunt pentru iubire. Thank you, GAFLpb, pentru că ai făcut posibil acest interviu. Și so let's end it in English. Love you. Have a great time. And until next time.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.